Long ago a powerful pharaoh ruled Egypt. His reign was marked by grandeur and fear as he sought to maintain control over his vast empire. He ordered all baby boys killed, a decree that sent waves of terror through the land. The pharaoh feared the growing number of Israelites, worried they might rise against him. During this dark time, a baby named Moses was born, destined for a remarkable journey. His mother, desperate to save him, hid him in a basket made of reeds and waterproofed with tar and pitch. She placed the basket among the reeds of the Nile River, hoping for a miracle. By divine providence, Pharaoh's daughter found baby Moses while bathing in the river. She felt sorry for him, moved by his helpless cries. She decided to raise him as her own son, giving him a life of privilege and protection. Moses grew up in the Pharaoh's palace, surrounded by luxury and wealth. He learned about Egyptian culture, language, and traditions, becoming well-versed in the ways of the Egyptians. He lived a life of privilege, enjoying the finest things the palace had to offer. However, Moses never forgot his true heritage. Deep inside, he knew he was different. He knew he was an Israelite, a member of the oppressed people. He saw the suffering of his people, witnessing their pain and hardship. They were forced into slavery by the Egyptians, enduring harsh conditions and brutal treatment. Moses felt great empathy for their plight, his heart aching for their suffering. He yearned for their freedom, dreaming of a day when his people would be liberated from their chains. One day Moses saw something amazing. A bush was on fire, but it was not burning up. God spoke to Moses from the bush. God chose Moses for a special mission. He asked Moses to free the Israelites from slavery. Moses was afraid. He doubted his abilities. God reassured him. He promised to guide Moses. God gave Moses powerful signs. These signs would prove God's power to Pharaoh. Moses accepted his mission. He knew it would be difficult. He was ready to face the Pharaoh. Moses confronted Pharaoh. He demanded freedom for the Israelites. Pharaoh refused. He did not want to lose his slaves. God sent 10 plagues upon Egypt. These plagues showed God's power. The Nile turned to blood. Frogs swarmed the land. Locusts devoured their crops. Pharaoh's heart remained hardened. He still refused to free the Israelites. Finally, God sent the 10th plague. This plague killed all the firstborn sons of Egypt. Pharaoh's own son died. This broke Pharaoh's resistance. He finally agreed to let the Israelites go. Section 4. Journey to the Promised Land, Trials and Triumphs. The Israelites left Egypt in a hurry, driven by the hope of a better future and the promise of freedom from slavery. This monumental event is known as the Exodus, a defining moment in their history. Moses, their chosen leader, guided them towards the Promised Land, a land described as flowing with milk and honey, symbolizing abundance and prosperity. The journey, however, was long and arduous, filled with numerous challenges and hardships. The Israelites faced many dangers along the way, from harsh desert conditions to threats from hostile tribes. They often complained to Moses, longing for the familiarity of their old life in Egypt, despite the hardships they endured there. Moses, however, remained steadfast, continually seeking and relying on God's guidance to lead his people. In response to their needs, God provided for the Israelites in miraculous ways. He sent manna from heaven to feed them, ensuring they had sustenance in the barren desert. He parted the Red Sea, allowing them to cross safely and escape their pursuers, and when they were thirsty, he provided water from a rock, quenching their parched throats. After 40 years of wandering through the wilderness, enduring trials and triumphs, they finally reached the Promised Land, fulfilling the promise made to their ancestors. Section 5. A Legacy of Faith. Moses' enduring impact. Moses never entered the Promised Land, the land he had longed to reach with his people. He died before they reached it, on the cusp of their journey's end. However, his story lives on, transcending time and space. He is a central figure in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, revered across these major world religions. He is revered as a prophet, lawgiver, and liberator, a man who led his people out of bondage. Moses received the 10 Commandments from God, a divine set of laws. These commandments are moral laws that teach people how to live a good life, guiding ethical behavior. They form the basis of Jewish and Christian ethics, influencing countless generations. The story of Moses teaches us about faith and shows the power of believing in something greater than ourselves, a higher purpose. It inspires us to fight for justice and freedom, to stand up against oppression. Even today, Moses remains a powerful symbol of hope. uniting people across different cultures and beliefs. His legacy continues to guide people towards a better future, inspiring acts of kindness, justice, and faith.